Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated.
Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge?
To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice.
Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu tajidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Who will be the voice that writes history? The battle for the 2024 TUMSA Deputy President is about to ignite on the 20th of November from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's remember to vote peacefully. TUM Creative Media is bringing you electrifying action to witness leadership in action as candidates put their plans on paper and their passion on the podium. The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice. Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu tajidu. Endeavor to achieve.
who will be the voice that writes history. The battle for the 2024 TUMSA Deputy President is about to ignite on the 20th of November.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff. Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice. Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu cha jidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Who will be the voice that writes history? The battle for the 2024 TUMSA Deputy President is about to ignite on the 20th of November from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's remember to vote peacefully. TUM Creative Media is bringing you electrifying action to witness leadership in action as candidates put their plans on paper and their passion on the podium. The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice. Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu tajidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Who will be the voice that writes history? The battle for the 2024 TUMSA Deputy President is about to ignite on the 20th of November from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's remember to vote peacefully. TUM Creative Media is bringing you electrifying action to witness leadership in action as candidates put their plans on paper and their passion on the podium. The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice. Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu tajidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Who will be the voice that writes history? The battle for the 2024 TUMSA Deputy President is about to ignite on the 20th of November from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's remember to vote peacefully. TUM Creative Media is bringing you electrifying action to witness leadership in as candidates put their plans on paper and their passion on the podium. The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, comrades. It is on our Wednesday, the 20th day of 2024. We are coming live again from the Technical University of Mombasa, brought to you by TUM Creative Media. And this is where we were last time when we had the presidential aspirants. They came here. They spelled out their issues, what they intended to do to the comrades. There were questions that were posted to them. They were able to answer. So we leave it to the comrades to decide whom they felt really convinced them. Now, we are having the Deputy President debate, and we are starting now. Just to reiterate, we are live on our YouTube channel, that is TUM Creative Media, as well as other social media, that is Facebook and X Space. I'll start by passing to my colleague, my co-host, maybe to introduce the candidates who are present as we continue. Karibu.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. So on the 13th of November, we say that the stage is set, and today it is the 20th of November, the third Wednesday of the month. So once again, at the only Citadel of learning at sea level, that great technical university of Mombasa, the conversation today continues. You heard what your presidential aspirants had to say the other time, and today their deputies come head-to-head in a battle of wits to cement their visions and also to cement what their alliances believe in. So today, in absentia, we have Pedi Awiro from CVA, that is the Comrades Voice Alliance. About to join us is Tabitha Njeri from CDFA, which is the Comrades Defense Alliance, Comrades Defense Forces Alliance, sorry. And then lastly, here with us, we have Vivian Wangoi from DAWA, which is the Determined Alliance for Worthy Action. So my good name is Waridi Rahema, and I'll be your moderator, of course, with Dan Otieno today, as we cruise these tides of leadership, integrity, and accountability in this very defining moment for our university. I hope that you will sit tight and have an interesting conversation with us. So let the dialogues begin, and may the best vision for TUMSA steer the ship forward. So this monumental debate, we can't forget that it has been brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you so much, Waridi. As she had already mentioned, I'll be also part of the moderation team. My name is Dan Otieno. If you like, you can call me Sultan. So I'll start by indicating that we gave an invitation to all the alliances. So the ones who are here, we are starting with them. The ones who will fail to show up, it's because we felt this was very important for comrades to listen to them, understand what are the things they are standing for, and be able to make informed choice. So I'll start with the objective of the debate for today. And part of the objective, let me assure all the candidates that we are non-partisan. We don't support any particular alliance, and if you feel there is any form of bias, feel free to share with us. Secondly, we want to give all our aspirants or candidates an opportunity to be able to talk to the students, tell them their policies, their ideas, why they feel they are best fit to be part of the executive for these 2024 elections. And again, it also to help enable the students, the comrades, to be able to make informed choices based on whom they feel shall have convinced them that is best fit to occupy the executive. So most importantly, we are also seeking to embrace peace and dialogue. We want to spread the word of peace to each and every comrade. Let's remain peaceful. Let's hold our election. Thereafter, we shall remain a university for all of us. Thank you. Back to my colleague to be able to spell out the rules and regulations. Karibu, Waridu.
Thank you so much. So the rules and regulations for this deputy president debate. Number one, we have observe turn taking. Do not interrupt any speaker at any moment. So that is for the aspirants. And then observe the time given to respond to questions. So each and every candidate will be given 1 minute and 30 seconds to respond to each question. In case of a rejoinder, just please raise your hand and you'll be given time to either air out your views or ask your question to the panel if you have any question. And then we have rule number 3. So for the candidates, no phones or written material is allowed for reference. And then any insulting or inciting statements from the candidates will result to immediate disqualification from the debate. And to our audience, our rules are, lastly, to the candidates, you are either allowed to use English or Kiswahili to respond to your questions. And to the audience, all mobile phones should be silent at all times. No cheering or jeering is allowed. And lastly, no movement is permitted in the audience.
Thank you so much. Maybe just to clarify on our audience, they are drawn from all the departments, all the faculties of the university. One representative each, and they are non-partisan. They don't basically support any alliance. Their people will be able to help us analyze or know where the direction is going. And now, I'm ably informed that, thank you. Now to start, in the House, I'll start with the president, the deputy president candidate that who is here. There is a key thing, time management, even in student affairs. And our debate was supposed to start from 3. We had the first candidate arrived here on time. The other candidates are still arriving. So we will continue with the ones who are there. Now, the first question goes to you. It's about vision and leadership. As the deputy president or the vice chairperson, this is driven from Article 25 of the TUMSA Constitution that talks about authority of the Student Council. What are your key goals and how will you achieve all of them? You can pick the mic, then answer the question, then thereafter you'll pass the question to the next person. But feel free to also start by introducing just your name, then you answer the question, your name, the alliance you represent, then you answer the question. Karibu.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm humbled and honored to be at this place this evening. Yes, as you've heard, my name is Vivian Wangoi from Determined Alliance for Worthy Action. We say our slogan is the cure for change. Yes, because we want to bring cure to issues that are in TUM right now. Yes, thank you to your question that you've asked according to our goals. I'll say, as the Deputy President, Dawa Alliance, our first thing is to uphold the Constitution, which is the major guide that we have as student leaders or as councils that we are going to use in guiding and in executing our duties that we are supposed to do. That is number one thing. And the second thing is, as a leader, you have vision and dreams that aspires you to vie for this position. Now that we understand, it's just a regime of 1 year, and after that you leave and other people come in. Yes, so one of the other goals to do is bring the change that comrades need in various aspects that are stipulated according to the docket that I am, that is the Deputy Vice President. Yes, and at the end of it all is make sure that comrades feel they have a leader and they've been represented. Thank you.
Yeah, please repeat the question. I just arrived.
Thank you. I'll repeat the question. You will start by introducing yourself, the alliance that you represent. But our question is majorly drawn from Article 25 of the TUMSA Constitution that talks of the authority of the Student Council. And the question goes, what are your key goals as Vice Chairperson or the Deputy President? And how will you achieve your goals? In Swahili, I can translate. Feel free to also respond in Swahili, or you're okay with the English?
I'm okay with both.
Karibu.
Okay, my name is Tabitha Jerry, Deputy Presidential Aspirant, CDFA, the Comrades Defense Forces Alliance. Regarding to that, first and foremost, as a leader, you have to, as a leader, I myself, together with every other executive and all leaders, the constitution of TUM is our binding and leading, and we must follow it as leaders. So, in regards to the question, I'd say, first of all, I as the Deputy President, first of all, my key concern is bridging the gap that has always been there between the comrades, that's the students, and the TUM executive. Not even the administration, but the TUM executive, because you find many a times, estimate, it's only 1% of the school population that have visited the TUMSA offices. That means there's that gap that needs to be filled. So my manifesto, part of my manifesto was to be close to comrades as much as possible, so that they don't feel the urge to, once I'm in power, they don't feel the urge not to come to communicate to me or come through a proxy. So that was my first manifesto. The second one was safety. Oh, sorry, I didn't know there was a timer. You can be given, I was not told. 30 seconds, okay. The next thing was the issue of safety and security. My main agenda about that was to come up with an emergency helpline number, because you find not all comrades can access my number, and I can't have it public, but having that working emergency helpline that a student can communicate to anytime, any day, 24 hours with response. That's so in order to ensure that there is timely delivery of, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to our candidates that are here in front of us today. So my second question. So my question, before I actually air out my second question, so each and every candidate has 1 minute 30 seconds to respond to their question. Sorry about that. So each and every candidate has 1 minute and 30 seconds to respond to their candidates, and then another reminder to their question. So another reminder, each and every phone should be silent within the room. So the second question goes from Article 26 of the Constitution, which talks about the powers and functions of the Student Council in Section 2. So what are the top issues facing students at Technical University of Mombasa, and how do you plan to address these questions? So I repeat again, what are the top issues facing students at Technical University of Mombasa, and how do you plan to address them? So I think beginning from Wangoi again.
Thank you. Top issues affecting comrades in Technical University of Mombasa. Number one thing I'll say is the welfare of the student, which goes directly to the Deputy President office. Yes, whereby you find students are undergoing a lot of things. Where the students who are even doing business to be able to counter their activities, their fees, their bills. That is number one thing that is majorly affecting students, where statistics say that almost 80% of the students at school, most of them are just left with their parents after coming to university. Yes, and the second issue, as according to the last update, is also the security issues, where it's an on and off activity, on and off occurrence, the security issues. Yeah, I'll say those are the major things that are affecting the students. Thank you.
Okay. For me, what I've experienced on ground is, first of all, the issue of fee increment. For the last 1 year, the school has been invoicing students each and every semester 3K, 3K, 3K. By the end of the year, I think we have been added an extra 8K. So I think the lack of representation from the TUMSA leaders and the administration is one of the major challenges that have brought about these issues, which we hope to step in and be open and transparent in the whole process, because I believe there was no transparency in the whole process of adding the 3K, which students didn't even realize. The other issue is safety. Safety is another issue. That's why I, as part of my manifesto, was to come up with that helpline emergency contact number, which will be open to all comrades. And in case of any emergency, they will be able to reach through that number, to reach the administration or the TUMSA government through that number. And I believe will be helped, rather than them coming personally to me, which not all people have my number, but with the emergency helpline, I think that will serve every comrade. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question. Maybe just to clarify, part of our audience today, we allowed for the various alliances, we are not allowing supporters, but we had allowed that various aspirants for the various positions were allowed to come in. So by any chance, if you see part of the audience, a member of any of the alliance, it's because we allowed them, and we welcomed other aspirants within the same and the other alliances vying for the various positions. We didn't choose whom to bring in or not, but everybody was welcomed. Now, you've touched on two aspects. I'll ask you a question on the fee increment or the issue of invoicing. At the same time, the issue of security. We understand student security lies under the docket of the Deputy President. We have students who are staying in places like Kisauni. We have students who are staying in places like Kachonjo, and as well as students who are staying within the university. As the Deputy President, deputizing the head of the executive, what are the measures that you as the deputy, you are going to take to ensure the safety of these students? And what are some of the steps that you are willing to undertake so that we address issues even in regards to the students drowning, issues in regards to students being mugged in Kisauni and all that? I'll start with you. In this case, I'll go to Tabitha because we've really started so much with the other candidate. Karibu.
Okay. About that issue, first and foremost, once in power, I'll liaise with the various stakeholders. That is on the outside, the local law enforcers, the Makopa police station, Jambere police station, all those police stations. We'll liaise with the heads and see how our students will be safe. And in case of any incident, anything, they'll be the first to alert us, or we'll alert them, and we'll see on how to work with them. Regarding the inside the institution, we'll liaise with the security department, and even come up with a student security committee who will be handling some of the issues as we pass them to the head of security inside TUM. I believe you are answered.
Go ahead.
Thank you. To respond to that question, I'll say according to the Constitution, it's stipulated that the Deputy Vice Chairperson is the chairperson of the Security and Investigation Committee. So in the position that I'll be serving, first thing is to create awareness, which is the key thing in security matters. Instance like the droning that you've mentioned. Some people, most of the time it affects first years, if you, according to the statistics that are there. And you see, most of them are not advanced. They're not like aware of what should be done. So number one thing is create awareness. The second thing is, together with my committee, come up with ambassadors, the youth ambassadors who are comrades themselves, who will be in charge of the security, and offer trainings if facilities agree, and offer training to these people, and also make them feel that they are part of this, because the security is part of all of us. The second thing is also liaise with the local authorities and the security personnel at school. We have our guards over there who are willing and they're very ready to serve comrades also. Also liaise with them. And according to the constitution also, the committee is stipulated, but it's not active. So as the deputy president, I would love to make it active so that it does the work that it's supposed to do. Thank you.
Thank you for that, the good response. Now you had touched on the issue of the issue of attachment being invoiced. Now, as the deputy president, you'll be working with the team. What do you plan to do differently? Because I believe the other teams were also involved in the process of ensuring that maybe whenever the management is passing an issue to do with the fee increment or attachment fee or anything, they are also involved. What different are you going to do to ensure that the students are fully involved, they are part and parcel of the process, and they accept it without having a blame posed to any of the sides? I'll start with you again, Madam. Yeah, respond, then Tabitha will also follow up.
Yes, okay, thank you. In response to what you're going to do in regards to that, as you said, the student council or the student leaders, you're just a representative of the whole university, the 19,000 students at school. So number one thing is find a way that the administration or the school will be in touch with the people. For instance, if you are to call for the administration to come on the ground level and explain to the students if at all there's the fee increasement or what is the need of increasing the fee or why are they doing that, they come to a point of explaining it to the student there, because they are directly affected, because they're the one who are studying, yes. And also in points where there are miscalculation or you find students who have been invoiced and they don't take the laboratory courses, they should be corrected with immediate effect. That is the major things that we can measure on as a council, yeah, so that to avoid those hindrances that come along during the process, and also to a point that if at all the people who are scheduled for that job and that are not doing it well, they might as well be removed to office, and other people who can do that work diligently be there, yes, so that the comrades might be represented well. Thank you.
In regards to that question, the main problem or the main issue that has been there is because students don't understand why they are being invoiced this money. So if I'm in power, what I'll do, I'd organize for public participation where the student and the administration would come together. The administration can clearly elaborate to the student the need for this money, why are they invoicing, and if they come to an agreement, then that's allowed. Because for the previous years, we have had the issues where we have had cases whereby it's only the students who go and represent the students, but and whatever they are told, they don't come and tell the comrades. But if they come direct, where we are all one, the student leaders, the comrades, and the administration, then we can have an understanding. And if it resonates with the student, then there won't be need for alarm or anything. Yeah, so I'd advocate for such things such as public participation, timely removal of these memos whereby they are invoicing students, and transparent communication in the whole process of adding or invoicing fees. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for for your responses. So just regarding, before we continue to the next question, just regarding the invoicing of maybe things to do with like laboratory fees, like the 3,000 that was invoiced, and many students I think made a bit of noise, quote unquote, regarding that money. So how would you, if you were in power, how would you ensure that each and every student gets to understand why that money is important? Because I think there have been views of, I would tell that we will make a liaison between maybe the administration and public participation to make them understand ABCD. So how would you make sure that each and every student knows why this money has been invoiced and understand the importance of that money?
Okay, I was among those students you're saying who are writing because of the addition of the practical, because I myself am a student of architecture and we don't have laboratories, so it wasn't making sense to us. But I believe we are all learned as far as we're in campus, we're in university, the Citadel of Learning Institute. So if I come in front, I tell you, like, we need this water because I'm thirsty. We need to increase this fee because we need to get new lab equipments. I don't think if that will cause any disarray between the comrades and the administration. It's just a matter of telling them prior and making them understand the need. But it's because it makes sense, yes, but not to everyone. Because if you are invoicing the architecture students, you have to tell them, maybe I'm going to buy you new boards, I'm going to get you this and this and this. So whatever we are going to tell the student should be something that is going to benefit them, not just saying laboratory. Just if whatever item you are going to purchase, this, the item, this, the item, this, the item. If there is lack of these seats, we are going to bring the seats. Something that resonates with both the administration and the comrades. Yeah, thank you.
Can you pardon the question kindly?
The question was, there has been issues raised from your side that in terms of maybe increment of maybe some fee, maybe things like the 3,000 for maybe things like laboratory fees or practical courses, so to say, how would you make sure that the students get to understand, because they've been, you have raised an issue of maybe public participation. So how would you make sure that these students get to understand why this money, this additional money is important, and for them to understand that they should not be like a kind of riot, so to say, of removing or paying this money? Apart from just public participation, how would you make sure that they become one voice with you to understand that it is important to pay this money?
Well, in response to that, if the question is on how, I believe we have the student handbook and policy which stipulates all the activities that are supposed to be there. In an instance where there are chaos in school or misunderstanding, most of the time you find that maybe something has been done contrary to what the student handbook says, or maybe if at all it's in the student handbook, the people have not been explained well, right? Yeah, so in an instance where the invoice is made like 3 days to examination, and we are all aware that you cannot sit for your examination if you have not cleared your fees. It's common sense for those people to come and riot because they don't understand why do you add us an extra fee at this point, and we are about to do our exam, maybe say on Monday and today's on Friday, you see. So to a point where if at all it's something that is right and it's legal in the student handbook, because even in our fee structure there are some which are indicated there. So if at all it is right and it's according to the student handbook, it should be communicated prior. That is how the student might know and be aware of it, so that even in paying your fees, you're aware of such a thing. In an instance that you won't find you've been added fees and you're not supposed to be added because it's not stipulated there. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. Now, to my question, we all know that with leadership comes things like rebellion and misunderstanding. So if you are elected as the next TUMSA Deputy President, the student expects that you are going to represent their views. So how will you make sure that there's effective collaboration between you guys and the comrades? I think I'll begin again from Elizabeth.
Repeat the question, please.
Okay. So sorry for that. I think I got your name wrongly. Tabitha again, sorry. So the question was, how will you ensure that there's effective collaboration between you guys and the comrades? Because ideally, you're supposed to represent their views and not what you think is best for them. So how will you ensure you guys work hand in hand with the comrades to represent their views?
One of the skills of a good leader is transparency and accountability. I believe if we do everything transparently, whereby we get feedback from the comrades, we get even reports whereby maybe we had an activity or an event, like let's say the cultural week or something. If we deliver this and students felt dissatisfied, they can write a report to the TUMSA executive, which will go through the Congress, will then approve, and if there is any misconduct, then one of us is, because the Congress can even impeach someone, so the effective measures will be taken. I think with transparency in whatever we do and everything that we do, everything will be sorted out. We and comrades will work together.
Thank you. In response to that, I'll say our leadership, our coalition, the alliance is full of integral people who have integrity. And there's a famous proverb says that a leader without integrity is like a ship without a compass. Yes, so number one thing is uphold integrity from the word go if we get into power, which I believe we are going to get. Yes, and in liaison with that, make the people know that power belongs to the people. Apparently, because even as at now, the people are the one who are going to choose us. Yes, in our manifestos, in how we got to know our manifestos, we went to the people. In as much as we have our goals, in as much as we have our dreams and visions, we went to the comrades and students, asking them, what do you think should be done? What do you think you need as students? You see, because you can find people who live in hostels. I don't reside in the hostels, and they'll tell you what they go through more than how I've experienced it. So going to the people and making them feel part of it, feel part of the government, and feel like they know their people and they know who these people who are going to present them. So they'll be able to articulate or air out their issues, which comes even on in office. Thank you.
We are about to go for a commercial break, but just to clarify that we invited all the three alliances, all the aspirants from the three alliances, and only 2 showed up. We don't know the reason why the other person did not show up. So when we come back after the commercial break, you need to tell us. We are in the 21st century. We are still forming alliances based on ethnicity. Is that the direction we should go? Stay tuned, kindly. That is the question for the next, after the break. Let's go for the break.
Hello, my name is Silvan Omondi, a student from Technical University of Mombasa, from the Humanities and Social Sciences Department. I'm taking Bachelor of Arts and Development Studies. Fellow comrades, the road ahead isn't easy. Security is a concern. Mental issues are arising. And of course, drug abuse is a problem that we cannot ignore. This is the time to make a change, to choose leadership that listens, that acts fairly, and brings peace to Technical University of Mombasa. Together, we can make things better. This is the time to make this change peacefully.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Hello, my name is Silvan Omondi, a student from Technical University of Mombasa, from the Humanities and Social Sciences Department. I'm taking Bachelor of Arts and Development Studies. Fellow comrades, the road ahead isn't easy. Security is a concern. Mental issues are arising. And of course, drug abuse is a problem that we cannot ignore. This is the time to make a change, to choose leadership that listens, that acts fairly, and brings peace to Technical University of Mombasa. Together, we can make things better. This is the time to make this change peacefully.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Hello,
We are back. Thank you so much. Now, as I had indicated, the elephant in the room, we are in the 21st century. As a country, we seek to move forward because one of the key things that have been bringing us back is ethnicity. And we are in a university where we believe we have intellectuals. And you realize the alliances are still formed based on ethnic groups. So to our candidates, to the aspirant, the deputy president, the question is, do you think it's necessary to have alliances formed based on ethnicity? And how are you, as the deputy president, going to ensure that moving forward, we have people being elected based on issues and not on ethnicity? We have alliances being formed based on issues and not on ethnicity. I'll start with you, Madam.
Thank you. I guess a direct response to that is a no. I don't think alliances should be formed according to ethnicity or ethnic groups. Though we can't neglect the fact that tribe is the second major factor affecting us after religion in countrywide and also in Africa, because it's a key thing, it's a crucial thing, because people feel they want their leader there, they want a representative there. But what I think is we need leaders who are representative of the people, not majorly representative of a certain specific group of people, whereby you find in our alliance we have different people from different aspects, where I would say that ethnic was not the major factor that was used in selecting people to join the group, because we will have considered other factors whereby we look at what is your aspiration, what is your views, what is your skills, what is your experience as a leader, why do you want to contest, why do you want to present those people. I guess that is what majorly in our alliance we've looked at in selecting the candidates. Thank you.
Yeah, just to clarify that, I meant negative ethnicity. Ethnicity is something to be proud of, but the negative one. Madam Tabi.
Thank you. I'd also like to say I don't support alliances being formed on the basis of ethnicities. Since we are in a Gen Z era, we are tribeless, we are leaderless, or we have a leader. But to answer to that, I think in the coming years, I'd be an advocate of merit-based appointment in this alliance. What is your work? How are you prepared? What leadership skills do you have in order to solve such issues? Thank you.
Okay, so I think my question is also related to Dan's questions, so to say, but not in like an ethnic line. So for each and every one of you, why CDFA in general, why did you decide to go with that? What is their vision that really tapped maybe your heart, or you felt you could do with it? And for DAWA, why DAWA specifically? Because we have three alliances. We have the CDFA, we have the CVA, and then we have the DAWA alliance. So why that specific alliance? I think beginning with Vivian.
Thank you. As the Deputy President for DAWA Alliance, I'll say when forming the coalitions or forming the alliance, I was called by different parties. I went to different tables in negotiation, but in all these, I was looking for people who share the same values and the same cause, the people who have the heart for comrade, the people who are ready to deliver, the people who have skills, the people who have leadership mandate, the people who have the call for leadership. And that is why I settled for DAWA, because at DAWA is when I found these solutions, where I found the questions or the things I was looking for. I found them in the leaders who were elected in DAWA Alliance. Thank you.
Could you please highlight just one major thing that you found there that resonated most with you?
Well, one major thing that I found out was the core values that these people have, and the reason as to why they're vying. Yes, the reason as to why do you want to vie? What is your aim? What is your goal? What is your vision? Where I found that we share the same goal and visions, which is majorly to bring a cure to comrades, which is majorly for the betterment of the people. Yes, thank you.
Why I chose CDFA? If we look at CDFA, it's an inclusive alliance. The scope is all through. You can see the different communities, different people. We are together there for a common cause. Why specifically I chose CDFA? It's because of the people there are willing to work. I'll just use an example of my president. My president has been a faculty rep for the last years. For the previous years, the class reps have not been paid. But when Olo came in as a faculty rep, not even as an executive, but just as a faculty rep, he was able to ensure that all the class reps have been paid. Issues to do with academics, lack of marks, missing marks. Olo has been a champion of that. So I was looking towards to working with people who deliver, people who have been tested, people who have been there, people who have been through the system and have delivered. That is why I chose CDFA. That is why I chose Olo as my president. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As much as we are in TUM, we are also part and parcel of what happens nationally. There has been a concern about the femicide issue, which has become a national concern, a national conversation. I think today we've heard the president give a statement on the same. And I'm glad I'm talking to Madam Deputy Presidents in waiting. One of you, God willing, inshallah, will be the Deputy President. And if it happens to be you, as a lady, what are some of the steps? What are you bringing on board as a lady that would ensure that our students, the female students, or generally our students, do not suffer from this issue of femicide? I'll start with you, Madam Tapi. I've really started with her, Sana. So feel free and then she'll follow.
Femicide has been an issue for like a very long time in our country and has not been addressed properly. It was until late that the president decided to speak on the matter. What I do in regards to the issue of femicide or the safety of our comrades, advocate for support peer groups, whereby people you don't walk alone. You have your peer group whereby you are working with people, you are with people. People know where you are. You're not alone at any time, and if you are alone, people know where your whereabouts are. The other thing, it's just majorly on the security of every comrade, which is a right. As I had said earlier, liaising with the local law enforcers and the institution security department. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. In response to that, I'll first of all thank you for bringing up that question, because indeed it's a key and critical thing that is happening currently in the country, because the last statistics that I read were showing that 94 women die a day due to the same issue. So in response to that, I'll say in as much as femicide has been there, it's the time that it has skyrocketed, that it's now becoming an alarming thing inside the country. And before you find a solution to something, you first have to get to know what is the issue or what is the cause of this issue. Yes, and according to my research as the Deputy President, I've done research and I've seen the main reason that is bringing the femicide issue is majorly the love triangle. In as much as the other reasons, the love triangle is what has brought about the femicide issue, whereby a step that I'll take, maybe even to comrades, I might not be in a position to reach out to the whole country right now, maybe years later, but for right now, it's I would advocate for education and awareness in what femicide is and how can our ladies be protected, or how can they be prevented from such occurrences. For example, if it is the love triangle, if it is the love issues that are majorly bringing about this femicide issue, yes, how best can you handle that relationship so that to avoid cases that the ladies are the victim or have been the casualties of this. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So the next question, under student welfare. So under Article 26, powers and functions of the Student Council, Section 3 talks about student welfare on your side as the Deputy President. So initially there have been, maybe I'd say the regimes that you guys are going to succeed have done things like collaborating with maybe hospitals or counseling centers, even politicians like MCAs to bring maybe awareness about things like mental health. So what unique thing will you do to expand a service like mental health services to the students? Beginning maybe from Tabitha, please.
In regards to the mental health awareness, first of all, there is an existing system, but it's not working. First of all is to ensure that the existing system is working first, whereby, because personally I've never heard of a counseling group in TUM. I've only had it because people went there because of doing supplementary. But the issue of counseling and mental health awareness in the institution has not well been publicized to the comrades. I'm very sure, I'm very certain if you go out there and ask a comrade, do you know where the guidance and counseling office is? They don't know. So first of all is applauding to students that they should know we already have a guidance and counseling office. Next is to create awareness. As I had said earlier, in regards still to the issue of femicide, having those peer support group, advocating for those group, because you might find very hard to come to me to talk to me about your personal issue, but you having a peer support group, people who you relate with, can be very, very helpful. The other thing is also reaching out to now the people like Red Cross, such NGO groups who will come and help us.
Well, thank you. In response to that, I'm happy to say that I'm a counseling student. I'm a psychologist by profession and by calling as well. Yes, so I'm glad because the question relates directly to even what I'm doing. Yes, and in as much as I'm pursuing psychology, I'm also a trained TUM peer counselor. Yes, and maybe to correct just what my colleague has said, there's a team that is working already. Yes, maybe it has not been working the previous years, but since we came in, I can see even in our audience we have a trained peer counselor, and she can confirm that, whereby we reach out to students. I've handled different cases at TUM currently, yes, and in the docket that I've been serving in the CU, also I've been serving in the welfare docket, whereby we reach out to people, help them settle their bills, help them during those mental issues if they have depression issues and stuff. Yes, because you see, we as a counselor, there's something called confidentiality. We might not go around talking and speaking that we helped this one, or someone came and approached us. If someone will come to the guidance and counseling, it won't be announced to the school that someone went and was done guidance, because it's one of the constitutional role as a psychologist that we uphold and we perform. So I'll say that it's something that it is working and we are going to continue. I'm also the founder of CPSA, Counseling Student Counseling Psychology Student Association, which is a new club that has just been registered with the Dean Office to see this come to place. So I believe as the Deputy President, I'm going to make sure that this continues and brings more steps. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just to remind you that this has been enabled by TUM Peace Club and TUM Creative Media. And we are live on our YouTube channel, that is TUM Creative Media. The next question is, I would like to know the issue of financial transparency. First, as the Deputy President, it's been said that most Deputy Presidents are flower girls. Sorry to use that term because you are ladies, it's not because you are girls, but that has been the term. First, are you flower girls? Secondly, in a case whereby we have the President as a signatory, the SG and the finance, and then they decide to work with the sports and the sports and entertainment secretary, how will you ensure that as the Deputy President, you bring that financial transparency? How will you ensure that you put the President and the entire team to be accountable for whatever that they do? I'll start with you, Madam. We've really started with Tabi, now it's you.
Thank you. How will we put, how will we bring about transparency in matters financial transparency? So in response to that, I'll say that there's a reason as to why you have to choose specific people that you have to work with, showing that these people have specific skills, leadership skills, which one of them is the transparency itself and integrity, as I quoted earlier, in a response that we're there to keep each other on check, and also for the comrades to keep us on check in matters, everything that is happening in the office and in the council. Yes, as I said, that power belongs to the people. These people have the right, they have all the mandate, the constitutional right to come and question us in case of anything. Yes, and in a situation whereby yes, I'm not a signatory according to the constitution, but the reason as to why the signatories can't work alone is because they need people to be there to check on them. And also the constitution provides that even an ad hoc committee can be created in case of any upcoming issues. So we are eager to uphold the constitution to the fullest, that is from our alliance, yes, and see it come to the fulfillment of the comrades' issues, which one of them is the transparency itself. Thank you.
To address the issue of transparency, first of all, the issue of accountability first, because you have to have accountability, then transparency. It's a correlating thing. So to address the issue of transparency, first of all, the Congress, I will work with the Congress hand in hand to keep the executive in check, because that is part and role of the Congress, to keep the executive in check. Secondly, I'd come up with a student committee who will be in charge of taking feedback from the comrades themselves, because the Congress might be greedy, the executive might be greedy. We might fail to call out one of our own, but from the student who is on ground, he or she can be very open to everyone. That's why I'm advocating for a feedback system which will be working, whereby students will be airing out their opinions on whether or not they were satisfied with whatever has been done by the executive. So it will be an inclusive government for all, whereby the comrades, the Congress, the executive are all working hand in hand to ensure that we have delivery, ensure that we are delivering to the students. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question under student welfare also. There is a work program that is given, I think, from the Dean Office of Students, whereby students can apply to have work programs within the school. Things maybe like cleaning the library and stuff like that. And then they, at the end of every month, I believe, they get a specific stipend. So there has been allegations, maybe like from previous governments, that there is favoritism when it comes to selection of these people. So how will you ensure that these slots go to the vulnerable students first and not people who maybe quote unquote are undeserving because they're people who need it more. So how will you ensure that these vulnerable students receive adequate support in different measures? Maybe starting from Wangoi, tafadhali.
Thank you. I'm smiling because that was one of our manifesto as an alliance, the DAWA Alliance. Yes, if you look in our manifestos, we've indicated the revolving the student work program in an instance whereby I've taken students there to the Dean of Student, where some of them were not helped and some were helped, yes, but the issue was the favoritism which you've just mentioned. That is why in joining the alliance we majored on that as a manifesto, because we've noticed that there's a gap that is there whereby according to statistics on the ground, that most people even are not aware that the work program is there apparently, yes. So we'll advocate for the other check. Just the way maybe when you go to apply for bursaries or the visas, there are the checks that you have to fill. There are things, the forms that you have to fill that indeed show that you qualify for this thing, that you are a vulnerable student and you need this more than the other person. Yes, and advocate for fairness. Yes, in matters of who should be given and why should the person be given. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so how would you give us just 3 key points? You said that you're going to do a thorough check. So 3 key pointers that will make you identify this is a student who really needs this.
Well, if, for instance, if you look the new funding model that was done, there was some in grouping people into bands. While it might be wrong to some extent because of the blames that were there, but these forms that people fill to check on them, for instance, even how you've paid your fees can indicate whether you're struggling in paying your fees or you're not struggling in paying your fees.
Addressing favoritism that has been there. First of all, in my government, we will ensure that we have a merit-based approach, whereby the most deserving person, we'll have a merit-based approach, whereby the most deserving person, according to their skill, according to their capabilities, are offered the job. Because, yes, we work with who deserve most, who is the most professional at the moment, because we can be both photographers, but he does a good job than the other person. So who has the best skills, we'll go with that. I think we'll go with that approach. Secondly, we'll also be very transparent in the whole process, ensuring that the comrades know, so that it doesn't be like my friends are the one there on the list, are the one being given the jobs, are the one. The whole process will be very open, from the vetting process to the nomination to those assigned, and to how they did their job, the report afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. Before we continue, I'd like to give Wangoi maybe 30 seconds. You just finish up on your points. I asked you 3 key points, and I think you've only had time to respond to one. Kindly.
Thank you. I just obeyed time. That's why I yes, thank you for that opportunity. Yes, number 1, I said the procedural, that is the nomination, the vetting of the papers that people fill to get to know how vulnerable you are. Yes, the second thing will be research on the same. After you fill the reports, maybe the executive can work in hand with even the Congress and even the student at large to do a research and find out, is it really true, or have you even just filled for using someone else's documents and come, for instance, because that is something that has affected the NFM. You find the 2 students who are identical twins, they've been given different badges, and you wonder, these people share almost everything, how did they end up? Yeah, so a thorough check on the same, that would be the second thing. And also the third thing, also before the final list is out, maybe it can also be given to be checked again, such that it said these are the successful people who are going to be given the work, and maybe there was an error from this and this person, so some corrections can be done. That is, if people have to write again, and that will be the third step. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and I think now over to my colleague Dan.
Thank you so much. Maybe just to remind our viewers that we can see some of the comments, it's based on DAWA or whatever, Alliance, a lot of that. But feel free to also give us a question that you feel should be posted to the candidates. Now, back to our deputy president candidates. In TUM, we are enabled differently. We have special needs, kind of special interest students, people living with disability. You will be the deputy president, deputizing the president. When the president is not there, it is you who is taking charge. And as the deputy president for all, what do you think? What are some of the things that you feel you have that will ensure that even their interests, their views, they feel that they are also well represented? I know there is the gender and special needs, but that is just a docket. The deputy president, the president is the overall. What are some of the steps, or what are some of the recommendations you'd feel that are necessary for them also to be incorporated and to feel that they are part and parcel of Technical University of Mombasa Student Association? I'll start with Tabi.
Okay. First and foremost, you said we have the gender and special representative. Together with the president, I'd like to add, we'll work together with the person in charge of that docket. And first of all, we'll come up with the special needs kitty, whereby we will set aside some funds to help them, because many a times we all know these people really struggle to some extent. So coming up with a kitty which will be of help in times of need will come hand in hand. The second thing, we'll also include them in these positions that we are saying, whereby we'll be having jobs, because I've never seen anybody somewhere being given these jobs. So including them in some of these school activities, whereby you'll find them as guards, as security officers, as ushers, to just make them feel like they're part and parcel of the TUM community. Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. In response to that, I'll say, yes, you've mentioned, I like that you've quoted it, that people are able differently, because that is the right term. They're not more different than us, it's just that maybe they're able differently, yes. So what I'll say in response to that, I'll urge the whole executive, as we work as a team, yes, because there's a reason as to why the dockets are stipulated according to different people, and that is the reason we have the gender and special needs docket. But it doesn't declare the fact that we're supposed to keep them on check and also see to what they're going to do. For instance, if we're having the other day we were having an event at the assembly hall using the YMCA, and we had students who were able differently representing them there. The other time the US embassy came, and the people were vocal. That shows that if they're given a chance to speak, if they're given a chance to stand out, they will be there to represent themselves and also to feel like they are actively involved in what is happening. Yes, and also according to the Constitution, it also lies in the docket of the Vice President that he or she is supposed to work with the needy student and make sure they feel that they are embodied somewhere in the Constitution and in the Student Council. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for that. Just to mention, because to be fair, online I say DAWA, I can see also CDF, so that we don't appear to be very partisan. All of you guys are there, so it was just a clarification.
Okay, so my second question, I think there's one of the viewers who's captured it. We are following it live. I think the outgoing, if I'm not wrong, I need correction from our viewers if I am wrong, the outgone deputy president actually put out a rule on a new dressing code within the campus. So ladies are not supposed to have maybe sleevelesses, you're not supposed to have like maybe shorts and things like those. It's both for men and women, just for clarification. So one viewer asked, are you comfortable with that? Because in the country, there have been talks about maybe my dress, my choice. Ladies are supposed to, be given a chance to express themselves, in terms of maybe dressing, how I look. I'm not doing it for anybody, I'm doing it for myself. We are in a learning institution. So do you support it? And what do you have to say about it? So most of them are asking, are you in support of it? And why? So I think I've begun so much with Tabitha, so I think I'll begin with Vivian this time. Yeah. So why would you support it, and are you in support of it? Why do you think it's important?
Yes, allow me to respond to that question with what I stand for, and I stand for modesty. Yes, and we understand that modesty is relevant, where what I define modesty might be different from what my viewer is defining modesty from. Yes, so I'll advocate to a point of a win-win situation whereby the student feel that they're not compelled, and at the same time the administration or the institution feels that these people have done the right thing. Because I trust you can dress so smartly, but in someone else's view you might have, like, they don't see the smartness in your dressing. Yes, so I'll advocate for modesty in dressing, because majorly it has affected our ladies, yes, but I believe you can be modest in your dressing. Yes, thank you.
In response to the dressing code, again, I'd like to say we are Gen Zs, we are wild. Restricting students, to me, doesn't sit right. It's not bad, but I believe we are all adults, and the question is very, very subjective to you as an individual. But let there be free will, but as an individual, what do you choose? I think that's a very open discussion, but I don't advocate for restriction, because we are Gen Z, we just like to do what we want to do, to go to evil. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so that was quite an interesting conversation, I must say. I think that there have been different definitions of what modesty is. I think you could agree that, my colleague. Yeah, what I find modesty, some of us say that the age group we are in is actually, Gen Z. We are free, doesn't believe in restricting. I reserve my comments for that. If you get me within the corridors of TUM, maybe you can ask me what I think about that. So for our viewers, thank you so much for keeping up with us. So I've seen so many people. We have Ricky, Amos Turanira, we have Virginia Ngugi, we have Brenda Magio, who's been with us all through. She's asked for recognition. She was here with us, asked a very good question. Again, just to clarify, we are a non-partisan group. He has TUM Creative Media. We are doing this debate in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club. So right now, I think you're going to almost heading to our second break right now. So when we come back, my colleague Dan is going to take us through the next session. So stay tuned as we have more and more engaging conversations. If you have a question, maybe you could just post it within the live feed, and we are going to ask your question if the time allows.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to shine in sports, music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking, and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice.
Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu cha jidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Unapewa Mwakenya. Compose yourself.
My name is Fatma Omar from School of Engineering, and this is my message to my fellow comrades. Sometimes life throws curveballs like nullified elections, but listen, that should not be the cause of chaos. Patience and peace are the real power moves. Trust the process, stay respectful, and let's keep TUM shining. The real win, a peaceful TUM for everyone.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
So to our viewers, thank you so much for being here with us. We are back again from our slight break. So before that, I think we had a very engaging conversation. I see some of you who are asking questions here. So once again, this has been enabled by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club. And most importantly, we are a non-partisan group within this the walls of this studio. So again, with us here today, we have two aspirants. We invited three of the Deputy President aspirants. We have Tabitha from the Comrades Defense Alliance, and then we have Vivian Wangoi from the Dawa Alliance. So Pedi was not able to be here with us today. That is from the CVA Alliance, Comrades Voice Alliance. So I think I'll hand over to my colleague to ask the next question as we continue.
Thank you so much. I think we continue getting so many questions from our viewers. Maybe just to mention a view, there is this guy called Daniel Ndaka who is asking. And once we ask a question, both of you will have to respond on it. How will you handle dissent with your chairman? That is a case whereby the president is not in agreement with the deputy, or you are not in agreement with the president, or even the entire executive. How will you handle that kind of dissent? The same question has been asked by somebody by the name Busherian Gigi. Answer that kindly. I'll start with you, Vivian.
I guess that question is sweet because in the state of the country, the deputy president was impeached. So yes, it's a right question for at this point, and my response to that will say, well, it's okay for people to differ, and I agree to that. But I believe that you people differing doesn't need or doesn't become an ad hoc to your delivery to people. Yes, and to a point whereby what should be done in such an instance that there've been maybe a disagreement between the president, that is the chairman, and the vice or the other colleagues, I believe it should come to a point of understanding each other, yes, and in your arguments or in your differences, it should not like hinder your delivery to the people. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Tabi?
In regards to that question, first of all, I'd like to say that the comrades' interest is bigger than the differences between the deputy and his chairman or her chairman. So first and foremost, when we started with the comrades' interest at heart, we sat together at a table and we talked and we agreed. In terms of differences, I believe that's the direction we should take again. We should again sit down with the whole executive, sort out our differences between the two of us, together with the whole executive, not as the two of us, because we are a team, we are one, and put the comrades' interest at heart, sort whatever it is, because these are things that can be sorted in a rational and logic manner without having to shout all over and everything, because at the end of the day, we are all adults. So logically, these things can be sorted with the comrades' interest being the first and foremost thing that we should prioritize. Thank you.
To our viewers, keep on posting more questions so that we can ask the candidate themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. So on to our next question. I think one thing that is at the heart of comrades, apart from just academics, has to be events, maybe around school or off campus. So under Article 26, Powers and Functions of the Student Council, there's issues to do with security. So we have one of our viewers, the name is Amos Odlia, and he asks, what steps will you take to ensure ladies are safe from any sexual assault? I think from events inside the school, there has been a lot of ladies who report, maybe someone touched me inappropriately, someone did this, someone did that. So how will you ensure that this will be a thing of the past? Tabitha.
First and foremost is creating awareness or educating our gents inside the institution that without consent, you cannot just touch a lady. Without consent, you cannot just do anything to a lady. Second of all is to ensure that security will be tight. And thirdly, to ensure that we tell our ladies to walk in parks, to walk in groups. We can just do like an awareness thing, whereby, because two are better than one. One cannot attack two, but when you are alone, it's hard to defend yourself. So if you champion for working in groups, maximizing on security and educating our boys, I think that will curb the situation.
Thank you. In response to that, I'll say why or how we should curb such an instance is because, again, it falls directly to the duties of the Deputy President according to the Constitution, whereby the Deputy President is the chairperson of the Security Committee. And I'll say that there, in such an event, you find out that students who even participate as security people and security personnel. As I responded earlier, I would say that they will advocate for youth ambassadors who will spearhead or who will be leading comrades in matters security, because you touching me inappropriately is like disrespecting me. So first thing, you come up with measures also that should be followed in an instance whereby such thing is not followed, what action should be taken, and also advocating and creating awareness to people, maybe prior of the activities, the regulations and rules. For instance, you've just told us we should switch off our phones, whereby if when we don't switch off our phones, it makes noise. So what are the effects or the repercussions or the consequences of such activities? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your response. So before I have Ida from my WhatsApp. She's saying a question specifically to Tabitha. She's saying security has always been posted during events in school. What do you mean security will be tightened?
What I mean is, yes, she's saying security has always been posted during events. But if you have been to the TUM events, security is always near the podium, whereby they are VIPs, they are the artists, and wherever the center of event is where we only maximize the security. But if we can have just some random people where the comrades are just walking, taking patrols, I think that will also help, because you find security are just focused on one center, and in the hostels you can't really control what's going there. So if we also have patrols walking through the school, just saying what is going on, because it's always at the gate and only at the podium. But if we maximize and ensure that security is everywhere, because it's not everywhere, then I think that will work out. Thank you.
Now, to my next question, I would really want the the two deputies in waiting. Do not post blame to anybody. Don't focus on the past, but just answer the question and you can give a recommendation. We have witnessed quite a lot of violence in the university, and especially in regards to this one particular position of the gate where people want to put their banner. We do not intend for the candidates to tell us who removed my banner or who wanted to put the other banner. But you as a candidate, do you take responsibility over the violence? That is one. Secondly, what recommendation can you make so that we ensure such a similar occurrence does not occur again? Of which, among the recommendations we have had, is to ensure that maybe the management, moving forward in the next elections, to ensure that nobody puts the banner at the gate if it is the center of the conflict. Now, you as a candidate, do you take responsibility as part of the violence, failing to control your supporters? Secondly, what recommendation would you make so that we can have a peaceful campaign and thereafter a peaceful election? I'll start with you. Last time we started with Vivian. Now this time it's Tabby.
First and foremost, I will take responsibility of whatever happened. Supporters can be furious at times. They can be uncontrollable at times. In regards to who puts the banner or not, as for me, as my opinion, I'd suggest that each and every participant should be given space to do whatever they want, should be given space to put their banner. If you as an alliance, you found out this place has been taken, just take it to another place. First come, first serve basis. Whoever was there first, the next will just find space. Make it a competitive process, not a violent process. Whoever reaches there first, make it fast. Yes, thank you.
Vivian?
Thank you. I love the question because it's quite an interesting one. Yes, I was also shocked to see that a small thing like banner, which only cost 4,500 to 8,000, can bring such riots in school. Yes, and as you can all witness and see at the gate, we don't have our banner. The reason is because we reserve for peace. And if at all, if the banner is going to cost someone's life or insecurity, we don't advocate for it. And secondly, I'll say what measures we'll recommend is banner doesn't qualify, doesn't define your victory. Yes, it's how much you prepared and how much you were there. We are victims. Our banner was banned, and which was there first, and we don't take blame. And we because we resonate for peace, we come to a point of agreement and come to a point of, okay, what's best for the student, what's best for both alliances, because at the end of it all, we are planning, it's strategies that people are doing, strategies that are going to make you win. And apparently, even the banner is just there to show us who are the aspirants. And as it now, the people already know that I want to vie for deputy president. People already know that another person wants to vie for such a seat, you see. Yeah, so I really don't think that such a small issue should be a core issue to a point that it brings insecurity to school. And yes, what I'll recommend in the near future and even to the coming regimes afterwards is focus more on what benefits comrades and what benefits you as an alliance or what leads you to your winning. Yes, because we understand, like for instance, we have the delegate system. Yes, the delegate is of more concern than even the banner. The banner might be there and you still lose. It's not going to benefit you with anything, right? But if at all you even get the posters for delegates and they be in school, the students or the comrades are going to vote for the delegates, not the banner. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to clarify to our viewers that on this issue of the banner and the gate, both sides are to blame, whether it is DAWA or the CDF. And one thing that should come very clear is retaliation to an attack is also part of causing violence or insecurity. So at all given time, let's ensure that even if I've been attacked, we can still have a conversation. I don't have to retaliate. Back to you, my colleague.
Okay, so I at this point, I feel like I'm going to abscond on my second question. That was a bit hot for me. I don't know if your seats got hot on that side. So just to ease the flow as we go on, I think I'll jump onto a personal question, just an easy question for you guys. So this is a position of leadership that each one and every one of you has an aspiration to actually get. With leadership comes a lot of responsibilities. So just tell us briefly and quickly, how are you planning to balance your academics and your leadership positions if you become the next deputy president of Technical University of Mombasa? So I think Vivian, please start, and then we'll go over to Tabitha.
Thank you. In response to that question, I'll quote a famous proverb which says that for you to become a leader, you first have to establish yourself. Yes, before you be in a position to lead others, you first able to establish yourself, which and leadership is more of skills. Yeah, we have decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, and which spearhead to how well are you going to articulate, how well are you going to deliver your duties, whereby I'll say it's not my first time to be in leadership. I've been a leader all through, and as you can see, even in my academics, they're still very smart, and that's why I'll say in matters balancing academics and leadership, it's all about personal understanding yourself and getting to know if you can handle both the pressure that comes with the leadership, because as you've said, indeed, leadership comes with a lot of mandate and roles, whereby it needs you to be prepared both psychologically and even all aspects, so that you may be able to countercheck these things. Yes, thank you.
Okay. First of all, for you to be a leader, you have to have some extent of educational background. Secondly, before leadership came education first. We all came to TUM because of education and not leadership. So education is one of the most important things that I've upheld since I joined TUM. I've also been in politics. This is my 4th year, and every now and then Monsieur D still recommends me for politics. That's a good sign that I can still lead and I can still balance my education. Thank you. It was personal. I'll leave it at that.
That is so interesting, huh? And maybe just to remind our viewers that we are live, TUM Creative Media on YouTube and Facebook, as well as the X Space. Now, as I said, part of the audience are people that have been drawn from the various departments. They don't align to any other side. We also welcomed other aspirants who are vying in various positions, as well as the current TUMSA executive. Just to mention, in our midst, we have the current chairman, that is Mr. Beast. Now, the issue of funds, the reason why I've mentioned him, he can confirm that majorly as student leaders, there's been a challenge when it comes to funds. We normally focus so much on the student subscription. That is the 700 shillings that students subscribe. Now we have a deputy president who is assisting the principal assistant to the president. I don't know why I keep on repeating that, principal assistant to the president, because it was one of the terms that was used during the impeachment. I'm not saying the deputies will be impeached. But now, how are you as the deputy president prepared? What are kind of the strategies you will use to ensure that besides the student subscription, TUMSA can also get some other funding from outside, whether outside or within, I don't know. But what are some of the strategies you plan to use or give idea to the executive to ensure that we have resources from other places apart from the student subscription? I'll start with you. I don't know, I started with you last time. One of you can pick the question. We want to see how fair you are to yourselves. One of you can go with the question. Thank you.
Okay, to start with that, first of all, the role of the deputy president is to come up with income generating ideas to help the association. So in regards to that, we had previous years we had a working student center. So first and foremost, one of the things we are going to do is to make sure that the student center has been revived, because it was one of the major income generating project for the TUMSA government. Next, we might try to outsource or even invest with the TUMSA money, or even invest outside to whatever will bring something to the TUMSA charter, which we intend to use the money maybe for the bursaries to help students or anything for the comrades. Yes, thank you.
Well, yes, I agree to a point that funds has been a challenge in TUM or TUMSA at large, because there's little allocation, because even finding maybe delay payment of some issues, it's all because of funds, and because we all look forward to the administration to give the subscription fee, which most people are giving. And you see like an instance whereby the fees for the first year, the new funding model students have been reduced. It is a gap now in the student council. So what measures we're coming up with is, because it's a constitutional role that is stipulated that the deputy president should work hand in hand with the finance secretary to come up with ways. So some of the ways that we're planning to come up with is maybe there are projects written there that the council can do projects which can generate income to the TUMSA kitty, and also liaise with organization outside in maybe holding activities and stuff, which are also ways of generating income to the kitty. The other thing is also how the money is handled, because I believe in as much as we may have money, how you handle money is what dictates whether they're going to be money or not. There might be maybe the issue even is not of whether there's money or not, is how the money is handled. So proper allocation of finances according to how they're supposed to be is also a key thing that you're going to uphold, so that in an aspect where we have money, you can allocate money wisely and according to how it should be. Thank you.
Thank you. This is just a follow-up in regards to the issue you've mentioned about the TUMSA, the student center. The idea behind the student center, maybe this is just to inform the other students or the entire comrade, was so that that center can help generate some funds for the TUMSA, or during that time it was called TUMSO. Then thereafter, the other idea was if this center can help the needy students. The idea was hijacked. We've seen a scenario whereby student leaders, now they are the ones who occupied this facility. Now the idea of the needy student was thrown out. Now you as the deputy president, deputizing the president and the entire executive, how will you ensure that this thing, if you rebuild the student center today, this facility helps the needy students as well as generate the income for TUMSA? Will you be part and parcel of the leadership that will occupy the premises, being the tenant, at the same time the landlord? Because that is where the conflict of interest comes in. I'll start with you, Madam Vivian.
Well, in response to that, I'll say, as you've said, it's more of the student, it's more of the comrades. Like, what do these people want, or how can you help these people? As I said earlier, we're just representatives of these people in in the offices. Yes, to a point whereby someone has a business and they do side hustles, that is to raise their funds. I'll respond to a point that the same criteria that you're going to use to allocate maybe the work programs, yes, and get to know who really needs these things more than the other is what you're going to advocate for in the same scenario where an instance that the STC is built. Yes, so that in as much as we're giving out this opportunity, you get to a point that you've given it out to people who need it most. Yes, I would say that's my response. Thank you.
In response to that, first of all, I believe no executive should hold a position or a space on that space. So what we will do, in my opinion, we will come up with a vetting committee. That is the Congress actually. We will now vet the tenants will be given the spaces to hold their businesses and everything. Once approved by the Congress, once approved by the Congress, then these funds, there will also be accountability, whereby where these funds will move from this place to this place. And majorly from my point of view, I was saying that these funds should be allocated to the bursaries, because once you clear the school fees of a comrade, that's one of the biggest thing you can never give a comrade, school fees. So if we allocate these funds to the bursary kitty, then I think that will be very helpful. But I believe no aspirant, no executive should hold the position of a stall, or even be in charge of the stall. Yes, maybe just overseeing, maybe just overview the whole process, but should not be even close to those who are allocating the stalls. Yes, thank you.
Okay, so I think Tabitha, maybe just clarify for us. You said for this money that will be incoming for the TUMSA funds, you'll do something like maybe investing this money somewhere to get returns. So are there any specific places where you have identified as an alliance where you could invest this money? And how will you ensure that there's comrade participation in approving, okay, you want to invest here? Go ahead and do it. So how will that accountability be there?
One thing I have not clarified is where I'm investing is not from the alliance, but from the comrades projects. The comrades are allowed to come up with their own projects. They bring to the TUMSA committee. We have associations. We have ASATUM, we have ESA, we have the Journey. We have very many associations in TUM. Once we empower these groups can come up with very finance generating activities, which will now help the TUMSA and also will help those groups themselves. Thank you.
Okay, so on to my actual question. We had Ricky254 from the YouTube feeds. He asked, how will you guys curb the issue of drug and substance abuse within the school? So outside the school, I believe you cannot control what really happens. But again, nationally and also just in Mombasa specifically, I think a lot of parents have reservations on, you're going to study in the coastal region because of the drug and substance abuse that is prevalent in Mombasa County. So how will you ensure that this is not a problem that actually affects our students? Because it might not be here in the university, but someone can pick a habit from out there and then it becomes something persistent. Maybe they become truants in class. How will you ensure that it is not a problem within the Technical University of Mombasa? Vivian, please.
Thank you. How are we going to ensure that drug and substance abuse is not a problem in Mombasa? As I stated earlier, I'm a trained peer counselor and I'm also pursuing psychology. So I'll say it's wise for people to get to know the reason as to why. Yes, it's one thing to tell someone stop doing this, but it's another thing to explain to someone and tell them why should you stop this. So more of creating awareness to such kind of people, offering them guidance and assuring them or telling them what they should do. Yes, in as much as we will love to tell them, you should stop doing this, you should avoid doing this, then what should they do? Maybe come up with activities or engagements that these people can engage themselves in, because you find most people using drugs, sometimes you can find just a mere reason like idleness. They're just idle and they just decide to use drug because they have nothing else to do. So coming up with activities or programs that these people can do, can participate in to make them occupied and feel like they're doing something, can also help to curb the issue on drugs and substance abuse. And also even the groups of the peer counselors and the other associations, even from outside, we have associations that advocate they are against the use of drugs and substance abuse. So coming and working hand in hand with them will also help our students. Yes, and even maybe bringing them to school, offering the training, all the assistance they can to help to get the comrades to know why, and what then should they do. Thank you.
Speaking of which, maybe I just want to give a shout out to my people there in Manyani. We love you guys. Thank you so much. Now, the next question is about something very vital that is really lacking. Many a times, student leadership only reacts to after students have been expelled, or expulsion is no longer there, suspended on the issue of exam cheating, which is something that is really affecting most of our students. As a union or as an executive, if you happen to be given an opportunity to join TUMSA 2024-2025 executive, what are you planning to do? I know this question would have gone to the academics, but one thing, and I understand, is the collective responsibility. Because in one way or the other, the president is supposed to sit on the student appeal, that is the VC's appeal, and the deputy or the academic are supposed to sit at the student disciplinary committee. Now, you as the deputy president, before, as they say, prevention is better than cure. What are you going to do to ensure that we have students to understand the student handbook, and so that we can get to have to minimize the cases of exam cheating, to avoid having our students being sent for suspension based on the exam irregularities? I'll start with you, Tabi.
About the issue of comrades cheating, that's a very subjective question to the comrades, they themselves. But what I can do, maybe advocate for malpractice, for teaching people about the malpractices in exams and the consequences that may occur after they get caught, and also advising and encouraging them, also encouraging them to study, because at the end of the day, you are the comrade. I cannot come and control you. I cannot come during the exam session and tell you don't cheat. Just advocating for the preventive measures and just advising them and encouraging them to continue studying, because that is what brought them to TUM. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. I'll respond to that question in the aspect of why. Yes, as I said, before you get a cure for something, you must get to know the reason as to why it happens. So in an instance of why do students cheat in exams, why do that happen, why are students expelled? Yes, getting to the root cause of maybe such kind of thing, like the other one that you've just mentioned. If the instance was drug and substance abuse, where you find the truants, the people don't come to school because of such kind of things. Yes, can we first of all go back to the root cause of all these things, and go back to the root cause, if at all, because you can't say it's the student handbook, because maybe 1 week to exam, the malpractices are outlined, and everybody is told you're supposed to do this. And even before you sit for these exams, you are told during the induction as first years, you taken for the orientation, and you are told that you should do this and this. You see, so getting to the root cause to know why do such occurrences happen? Yes, if at all maybe the lecturers did not teach, there were no classes. How do we cure this before you come to a point of a student cheated in exam because of such an event? Thank you.
Thank you so much. As I said, we are live on YouTube through our channel, TUM Creative Media, and also on Facebook. We are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, the candidates will tell us why they feel comrades have a right to consult the gods. Stay tuned. We are coming back.
From the heart of Kenya's coastal gem comes a platform dedicated to truth, innovation, and excellence. This is not just a media platform. It's the hub for the next generation of creative minds. Join us as we redefine storytelling. Like, share, and subscribe to the TUM Creative Media.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
From the heart of Kenya's coastal gem comes a platform dedicated to truth, innovation, and excellence. This is not just a media platform. It's the hub for the next generation of creative minds. Join us as we redefine storytelling. Like, share, and subscribe to the TUM Creative Media.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
From the heart of Kenya's coastal gem comes a platform dedicated to truth, innovation, and excellence. This is not just a media platform. It's the hub for the next generation of creative minds. Join us as we redefine storytelling. Like, share, and subscribe to the TUM Creative Media.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Welcome to another year at the Citadel of Learning at the sea level.
Life is a complex process. One should be focused and determined in order to attain success. Life has its ups and downs that shapes one true self. To adapt to these life changes, one needs knowledge.
Knowledge is power, the power to deal with it all, to be that champion, to be the best of the best, the freedom to explore, research, innovate, and network. We all yearn for knowledge to ignite our creative minds and be that positive change that the world needs. With knowledge, we grow together in companionship, motivating and supporting one another regardless of the different views we hold, languages we speak, or our ethnical backgrounds. Knowledge gives us space to nurture our talents and acquire new skills. Skills that help us think outside the box, to music, creative arts, and even politics. With the right knowledge, we become engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, journalists, medical doctors, and so much more. Knowledge is the fuel that powers our dreams in life, which leads to success. Big or small, it doesn't matter. Success is success and should be celebrated. Knowledge is power, and power is success. And success is the epitome of it all. But wait, where do we get this knowledge? To acquire the right knowledge, one needs a knowledge center par excellence. A center that provides leadership and outstanding programs by engaging in scholarly reflection, cultivating critical thinking and advancing creative problem-solving skills in the fields of engineering, sciences, business, and related areas that benefit the society. A center with the state-of-art facilities, a modern library, well-equipped computer laboratories, and accredited courses that assures one favorable competition in the respective job markets after graduation. A center that boasts of diverse cultures that coexist in peace and harmony. A center with the right staff. Staff with diverse backgrounds and a vast undisputed experience in different fields. Staff with exemplary research portfolios. Staff that not only teach but listen, gives advice, motivate, encourage, and promote inclusivity and equality. Staff that allows one to express themselves freely without prejudice.
Technical University of Mombasa, a university of global excellence in advancing knowledge, science, and technology.
Jidu Tajidu. Endeavor to achieve.
Yes. Hello. Yes. Mic test. Welcome back, guys. Maybe just as I said, we are live on YouTube. Just to mention some of the names that I see very active on YouTube. I can see Debash K, Dila Kipkemboi, Mesha Kipkorir, Ricky 254. I can see Askochi, Amos Olia, Virginia Ngugi, Hydra, Timothy Mugira, and so many more are here. They are very active, keenly watching. Now, the conversation, the last time we left when we were asking, why would comrades feel that they have a right to consult the gods? Kindly. Cheating is not allowed. So, back to our candidates. In a scenario whereby a student has been sent home on suspension because of cheating, and the student approaches you, what kind of a mechanism or what ways will you use to ensure that this student first understands the reason why they have been sent home without feeling victimized? And then again, because sometimes a student may be suspended, the issue end up being more of mental issue than any other thing. From your side, because we understand students go through various issues, we don't encourage cheating. We don't encourage being unprepared, but there are various reasons why issues to do with school fees, issues to do with where they stay, and a lot of issues that may make a student decide to do whatever they are doing. Now, as a student body, what kind of measures are you going to put in place to ensure that these students, besides just the normal educating them on the risk of having cheating, that they will be sent home, even at a personal level, is there any mechanism that you are going to improve to ensure that they're adequately well informed? Those with mental health issues are also catered for, so that to avoid this issue of cheating. I'll start with you, Vivian.
Okay, thank you. Well, on a personal level, that is how you're going to advocate or how we are going to curb this situation. Yes, I'll say there's, as you said earlier, prevention is better than cure. That we've already known, that it's already common. So in an instance where maybe the mental issue, for instance, it's the cause, the reason why there are special exams, right, even in the constitution, and it's appeal for such an instance whereby if at all there's an issue that is hindering you from maybe sitting for those exams, so that you avoid other consequences that may come afterwards due to factors that maybe led to like cheating and stuff. You can have if you're not like maybe ready to sit for that exam due to issues that are known and are articulated there, it's advisable for you to sit for the special exam, you see, because most people believe that special exam, some of them don't understand the reason as to why the special exams are there. So yes, I'll advocate for the prevention first before you come to the part of curing that you've already been suspended. Can we first go back to the point of why are you, how ready are you, or how prepared are you, or how good are you for those exams? Maybe if at all there's an issue that will hinder you from coming to a point of avoid such kind of malpractices and consequences that will come later. Yes.
Sabi?
I'd request to just be clear with the question. Is it before or after the student has been expelled?
To avoid the after.
To avoid
that is the issue of educating them. Then even thereafter, because even before, there could be other reasons in issues to do with mental health, issues, a lot of things that leads them to cheating. But now, even now, that after, how are you going to ensure that you come up with a mechanism for them to accept now how to bring them back?
Okay, for the issue before, first of all, I'd work closely with the guidance and counseling department, and to ensure that every department has a counseling representative, because personally in my department I don't know of any person and I don't know how to reach anybody in the counseling department, but ensuring that each and every department has a counseling ambassador or a counseling group, so that wherever these issues arises, then they can be able to speak out at a personal level, at a friendly level, at a department level before they reach the institutional level. Then afterwards, if the issue has already, if the water has the milk has already spilled, then I believe because the repercussions are there, we can't evade the consequences. But once that has been done, then we will still keep in touch with those students so that they don't feel left out. They don't feel like the school has abandoned them or sent them away. So still keeping in touch with the student and the whereabouts, their plans to resume school will also be an added advantage, and so that we can make sure that the student still feel as a part of the TUM fraternity.
So
Thank
before
you.
I give my colleague maybe to welcome question from the audience, last two important questions. I want your response in regards to the issue of lecturers' strike, which is right now has really affected most of our students. According to the student handbook, they are supposed to have covered 75% so that they are able to do the exams. Those are among the issues that can lead even to cheating. They have not covered. What is your response? Because that will be the first thing that you will tackle, suppose you are given an opportunity to join TUMSA 2024 executive. What is your response in regards to the lecturer strike? As a student body, what are you going to push for so that this matter can be resolved? Secondly, student funding model, the new funding model. What is your opinion? And how will you ensure that you, together with other student leaders from other universities, you help bring about a model that will benefit students, not harm the students? To you again.
Thank you. A response to the lecturer strike, I'll say what the lecturers are doing, they're just expressing their freedom of expression, which is articulated in the Kenyan Constitution. So it's according to their right to express what they feel like they've not been handled carefully. In effect on the effect that it has to us students is, for instance, we're not having lectures right now, yes, and it's a core issue. And well, what I'll say regarding the same is maybe we will maybe call for the government to look into the matters, because we might not be in a position to help like at large, because the lecturers are, some of them are even our parents, yes, and if at all they don't even get their salary or what they're calling for, they won't be in a position to pay for our fees, which the same fees will need to pay the fees to sit for the exams. So we'll call for equality in all aspects, and call for active participation and active response from even the government will advocate for proper allocation, proper guidance on what should be done, and response to even the citizen, because these are the workers of the government. At the end of it all, the people who are paying taxes to the government. So the government still need this. They still need their money for them to run. So it's wise and it's fair enough for them to be given their right and for them to be done what they should be. Yes, maybe you may pardon the second question. The new funding model, yes. Well, according to the history of Kenya, maybe from the old models that have been there, well, I had a lot of questions concerning the new funding model, whereby why was it first of all brought at the table? What was the issue? What was wrong with the old funding model such that it had to be brought the new funding model? And maybe why were the issues maybe that caused the new funding model to be brought, why were they not tackled? If at all, maybe the old funding model had an issue. But now the fact that the new funding model has already been implemented and it's already in working, well, it has some loopholes, I would say that, and we acknowledge that because, as I stated earlier, the criteria used to allocate those people in the different bands maybe is questionable to some point, and whereby you find the government giving blames to specific agents, maybe the people who are working to in the bands, which it's something that should be corrected maybe for us to feel the effectiveness of the new funding model, for us to feel the need as to why, how does it benefit us, if at all the government has come to an agreement that it's for the best of the student. Maybe be explained and feel that these loopholes that the new funding model has is being rectified to the advantage of the students. Thank you.
In regards to the lecturer strike, the lecturers, as you can count, we are now 4 weeks in the strike, so that's almost a month, and a month, those are very many days, those are very many hours. So first and foremost, what I'd advocate for is extension of time to cover up for whatever has been lost, because it doesn't make sense for a student to go and do exams without even being taught. Having considered the amount of fee they are paying because of the new funding model, so it's not even fair to students. So first of all, advocating for extension of time so that we can recover the time lost, and now students can do their exams. Secondly, in regards to the funding model, personally, I'm a beneficiary of the old model, and the old model was still working. Maybe if we can relook and see if there were loopholes, how can we fix those? Because it was already working. The new one is, a lot of comrades are out there. They haven't been able to join the university because of the new funding model. So I'd advocate for the new funding model to be scrapped off totally. Let us see what was not working in the old funding model. How can we rectify it? And I believe it will work. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for your response. So before we go to the next section, which was questions from the audience, as the floor manager prepares to come into the room and pass over the microphone, we've talked so much as academics. So a wise man once said that all work with no play makes Jack a dull boy, Jill is a dull girl about, you're working all the time and you're not actually getting any play, so to say, or any extracurricular thing. So how are you going to ensure that you increase student engagement in extracurricular activities? Because personally, I understand there are so many equipment for various games in schools, but then we just hear about a few sports. Maybe football is a bit active, I would say. Basketball here and there, and then we have rugby, I think, which so many people get to know about it. They are vocal in one way or another. So how are you going to ensure that these sports, there's so many of them, there's so many students are able to engage in them, because there's the issue of distressing, so there'll not be issue of maybe drug abuse, being idle, how are you going to ensure that students actually get into a place where they're able to, a lot of them are able to get into these activities?
Okay, on the issue of sports, first of all is encouraging the other student to join the sports. And as much as we cannot control what the teams are doing for themselves, because there is also a structure for the teams, not controlled by the TUMSA, but controlled by the sports captain, the captains, the coaches. Secondly, I'd like to empower the clubs. We have a lot of clubs in TUM, whereby you find like they have activities, they come to the dean, they request for a bus, they are not given. So empowering these teams can also be another form of engagement. We not only need to dwell on sports, but we can also empower these associations. There are over 30 associations in TUM, but they're not well taken care of. They are just registered and that's all. Nothing goes on in those associations. So empowering these ones can also help us to promote student engagement in other activities, co-curricular activities. Thank you.
Well, thank you. In response to that, I'll say, first of all, is to create awareness of the clubs that are already there, that are already existing, and explain to students or comrades what are the benefits of engaging in such activities. For instance, the football, the basketball, they are activities that even help you in your health, not leave alone all the other things. They help you connect also the outside. For instance, when the drama people are going outside, it is building their network. You're connecting with other people. It is expanding your mental capacity, your relationship skills. So get to explain to these people why they should join, because for instance, you see during the admission of first years, there are clubs and societies will align themselves there for them to register people. But after registration, they lack follow-up on how to go about it. And that's why you end up, most of them they end up nowhere at the end of it all. Someone has done 4 years because they don't even know there's a scouting club in school. They don't know there's an environmental club in school because they didn't like actively participate in it. And also I will recommend for such activities to be included in the TUM portal. For instance, the same way we register online when joining first years, those activities can be outlined there, so that in an aspect where you go when you're so fresh in school or in campus, you're so eager to join all these things, and you want to get to know who are they, and you find they're not provided or they're not articulated well in the online platform. So for them to be placed in the online platform, so that when you're doing the admission, you can know there are such activities at TUM, and I can participate in this, I might be interested in this, and who am I supposed to reach out to, because that is something that is also lacking. That would be a recommendation, and also something that we'll strive to do when you get into power. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your wonderful responses to both of you. So right now, dear viewers, we are going to jump into the next segment, which is questions from our audience that is here. I believe the questions are ready. So just before I hand over the microphone to our floor manager, that is Eugene, welcome. For the audience, your questions, you can either ask a question generally to both of the candidates, or you can also ask a specific question to a candidate. So all questions will be asked once, and then we are going to repeat them one by one. And lastly, any question that we feel has an inciting statement or insulting statement will not be liable for any answer. So,
and maybe just to clarify, questions from the audience, not fellow aspirants in the same alliance. No, audience.
So Eugene.
Hello, my name is Hadija. It is good that both of you are females, and I would like to know what really inspired you to go for those positions as the deputy president. And also the second question is, I would like to know how you're going to empower the females who are willing to go to reach where you are right now. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Frank Emeka, alias Ask Ochi. I will ask by starting with I'll speak on behalf of TUM Juniors. This is the official school team for Technical University of Mombasa, soccer. We've been playing in the Mombasa County League Group C, and we won that league. We were promoted to the Provincial Coast League, which is going to start soon. In the previous league, our away matches, we were not being provided. The bus was not being provided for us. Transport was from our pockets. Now this provincial league, opponents are far than the opponents in Mombasa County League. So it means the distances, we will need a bus. But I understand getting a bus in this school is a challenge. But also on the same note, the intervention of TUMSA can make it very easy for us to access that bus. And the best person in that executive to negotiate for us can be the position of Deputy President. So what measures will you take to assure us that we will be getting a bus during our away matches in that league? 2, many comrades are asking me about survival. And the major thing of survival for a comrade is food. And this comes with affording that food. In the previous years, we had a mess. I was one of the students who came to this school and there was that mess. Food was very affordable in that mess. Actually, for me, my budget in a day was not more than 70 shillings. Asubuhi napiga 15 bob yangu pale, saa saba ni 22 bob. Usiku ni 30 bob ama 22 bob. Hiyo umekula ugali na sukuma. Ugali na nyama ilikuwa 42 bob. Hiyo mess hatuioni. Students wanataka hiyo mess irudi. What measures will you take to ensure that mess inarudi? Students will afford food pale. Students waache ku drop out of school. Because the cohort that I joined with, most students that I know personally, dropped out of school because they can't afford food. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My name is Kelvin, and my question goes to both of you. My question is that, how will you ensure that decision made in your leadership will benefit both students equally regarding matters? How will you make sure that decisions made in your leadership benefit every student equally? That is my question.
My name is Whitney, and my question goes to the both of you. I'm a student of communication, and I've seen we've had an increment of fees that is 3,000, and our studio radio, TUM Radio, is not working as per now. So my question is, how are you going to deal with this? The fact that the fees has been increased, and our studio is not working, and I feel like also journalism in our communication department, there are not enough equipments as students of journalism, and we are quite a number, like we are quite many. Even in this TV lab, like we have part-timers and we have regular classes. So you get like, sometimes you have to combine here. In my class, we are around 70 something. And also for part-timers, you know, that's quite a number. How are you going to deal with that? Yeah, thank you.
Wow. It's called the hot seat. The questions are really interesting. I have been touched by the one for the mess. Food is very important for comrades. So, to the candidates, briefly, maybe in 1 minute, 30 seconds, to respond to each and every question I'll start with Vivian. You seem to be very ready. Vivian.
Maybe just the clarity. 1 minute 30 seconds for each question or for all the questions?
For each question.
For each question.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll start with Hadija's question. Our inspiration for deputy president position. Yes, my main aspiration for the deputy president position is because I'm really so much concerned with the welfare of the student, which lies directly to the deputy president position. That is the depression issues, the sources. Coming up with ways of mobilizing funds, security. If at all you look the constitution, the duties outlined for the vice or the deputy president is what personally core values that I really uphold, and also lies hand in hand with the cause that I'm pursuing, psychology. So that was one of my inspiration to go for the deputy position, and also in the seat that I've been serving, the CU position. I've been serving in the welfare committee, where our main duty, according to the CU constitution, is to deal with the comrades' issues, to deal with the students' issues. What is affecting these students, and how well can you be on one-on-one in touch with them? Because there's the way you can generalize people, but it's a different thing approaching someone on a personal level and reaching out to people at individual and getting to know what are these people struggling or what are these people facing. Yes, that is my biggest inspiration for the deputy president position. Secondly, how will we inspire fellow female students? I'll say I've mentored some people already who are even aspiring for the delegate position, because last year I was vying for delegate position before I came for the deputy president position. Yes, that shows that life is all about steps. The moment you just take the little step you take and encourage someone to come up forward for the little position that you have. As you look, most of my delegates are even female, because there's the need of getting these ladies to know that they can also do it, that these positions are not just set for the gents. If you see, there are also conferences outside school where ladies are called, maybe ladies in leadership, the summits that are there. Advocate for these ladies to go for those leadership summits, for them to learn and get to know why should they be part of it, or what is the essence of them like leading in such kind of activities. Yes, because it's an inspiring thing to see like ladies come forth and go for this position, because you can see even in Tanzania the president is a lady. That means that these things are doable. Like you can do it. Yeah, like, your agenda should not restrict you on what you aspire for. That question from Ask Ochi about the TUM juniors and they won the league, and I love to correct something that he has said, that there's a challenge getting a bus in school. I love to correct that, because I've served in the Congress as the religious representative, and there was that challenge since I came to school, since I joined the CU in 2022. There's been a challenge of the bus, but if at all you just get good representative, the bus does not have an issue. You just need to go for to apply for the bus and get to know the reasons, take it to the various departments that is supposed to be there, and you'll get the school bus. I can assure all comrades that all the services that are at school, they're there to provide students. All you need is good leaders who are going to represent people there. And that is why I said in our manifestos, we went to the ground to reach out to people. Maybe here, like, what are those, if they're the TUM juniors, they're saying they've been having an issue to get the bus. And to them, they see it's a challenge. And now we come in and tell them this challenge can be settled, or can be overcome by doing this and this. You see, you just get to get a good leader, get a good representative in those dockets, and they take forward your views or what you people want, and it's going to be settled. Yes. To the survival for comrades and matters food and the student mess, and what measures have we taken? I agree with that. I concur with that, because students, even the welfare docket that I've been serving, the biggest challenge we've had is students lacking food. Yes, you'll even find people just sending you random text, and you're calling 50 bob nainama, and outside, not only in TUM, but even outside other campuses, it's a big issue. Yes, the past regimes have been singing of maybe bringing back the student mayors, and we've not seen all that come to pass because maybe of the administrational issues that are there. But what I'll say we can advocate for is coming up with a new mess, coming up with totally a new mess. The school has field and places and big varieties whereby this thing can be built, because honestly it is so discouraging to hear someone from JKUAT University will take a meal at 7 bob or 12 bob for breakfast, and in TUM you have to have more than 50 shillings for you to get the same meal. So yeah, we'll advocate for that, and also get to the core root of all these issues, get to the core root of handling this issue, because indeed it's a key and crucial thing that is affecting comrades. So the measures that we'll take, if at all it calls to building a new mess, like at all, we'll advocate for what is right for the comrades and how best they can be settled and how best the issue can be handled. And also in aspect whereby maybe there might be some funds even allocated for such a thing. Maybe you even have events where people come, the training, and they're provided for lunch, they're provided for breakfast, they're provided with snacks. Yes, just get away. The comrades are going to be involved and get something to feed. Yes. Kevin asked, how are we going to ensure that the decision we do benefit all students equally? Yes, in response to Kevin's question, I'll say how we'll make the decision, how we'll see the decision we make benefiting students is what we talked about, the active participation before and after making the decision, because we believe we might see a decision benefit for comrades as the executive, but in including people to participate in making of the decisions becomes easier, because these people feels, maybe for instance, I love saying there's a difference between a need and a want. We might see something and we find it as a need, but kwa ground unakuta that thing is a want. It's not even more of a need, it's a want, you see. And if at all it can be avoided and the needs be given priority, it will majorly answer the question of how the decision is going to benefit students equally. And the last question that my beautiful lady asked, communication. No, she's a student from communication, and the TUM radio is not working, and they've been fees increment, the journalism, there are no equipment, there's no enough labs. Yes, response to that, I'll say, get to the point of transparency. For instance, maybe if the issue of fee increment was to build the labs, where are the labs that have been built? If the fees was increased to cater for this, has it been done? Where is the solution that has come from? You see, in as much as because I've been to TUM Radio once or twice for the interviews, and it's a good platform that helps even the communication student. I'm a student from the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, so I understand when they say that it is a hindrance to them. Maybe I've been invited in TUM TV not once or twice for the same interviews, and honestly you can tell those people, students doing their projects, they struggle because you have to wait for each other for them to do their activities. So I'll call for them being felt and for them having a leader who represents them well, so that their issues might be articulated in the right way, in that if at all there's some money that should be set aside to handle this or to cater for this, to be included in that and see it come to work. Yes, and we not only pay fees, but get a follow-up to see what we did, or what the money that was advocated for such a thing took place, and indeed it happened. Yes, because the issue of follow-up has been also a key issue in TUM, because you just do something, promise to do something, but there are no people to follow up. There's no accountability. So if at all you say we've increased 3,000 for the labs and the labs are not there, there's no one to hold you accountable. There's no one to do a follow-up, and it goes that in the air. So we call for as the aspirants that we're coming in, for that accountability and yes, following up to see if at all this was promised, see it come to pass, because we all know and understand that it's a need to the comrades. Thank you. I guess I responded to all questions.
Tabi, very fast.
Okay. To answer the first question, inspiration. I have been in TUM for the last 6 years. When we started, it was better. As we progress, it's deteriorating. Being a comrade in TUM, I understand the challenges on the ground because I've seen them. We can have better. We can do better. I advocate for transparency, inclusivity, and action. That's why that alone inspired me to vie for this seat, because I've seen the previous governments come and go, but nothing has been done. About empowering women, also, as I said, I have been a delegate. I have vied for the executive seat once. My colleague here has also come to see me for some advice. So I have been interacting with women, especially in my community, not to be any tribal or anything, but I have interacted with them. I have I have mentored people who have become delegates and have won, and I have been part of the Congress. If someone can confirm, he's in the room. The issue of bus provision, to correct my colleague, bus was being provided earlier. As an architecture student, let me use that example. We usually have site visits, and earlier we were being given buses for those site visits. But now you find we are using our own money to go to site, which should be part of the school fees. So that's a challenge, and we should push for it. And also in regards to that, we should also educate the students on the means to or the channels to know where and how to go and ask for the bus, how to access the bus, because there is a process. You have to go to the dean, you have to go to somewhere. There is a process for you to get a bus, but the bus has been there. The issue of survival for comrades. First and foremost, the food. I don't believe in building a new mess. I believe in making the one that is there currently to work. It has been an issue which has been discussed in the past. The previous governments have tried. We're also going to try and push, because building a new one, I think what can solve is building a new student center, whereby those guys who want to do business, the food industry, they'll be given space at the student center. Then they can leave the current mess, the current cafeteria, for the students to have a mess. Survival for the comrades on another issue. We will ask with institutions outside, like the Mombasa County government, to provide internship for students where they can be getting small money for their pockets. People like Mombasa Cement, they're also very helpful to the students. The other issue was decisions that benefit every student equally. One of our core values as an alliance is equity, equality, and inclusivity. And above all, transparency. So I believe with those core values leading us, decisions will benefit every student equally and fairly. Increment of fee, due to lack of increment of fee, then lack of services. As I said earlier, we will bring a system where we'll be having public participation, whereby you can say, yes, now you're increasing this. Why are we not getting the studio? Why? You will ask the administration direct. Then we, as the student leaders, will do a follow-up and we'll get a report to you. I think that can work, rather than the student just going to speak for you. You can speak for yourself. We can create a public awareness forum where students will air out their opinions to the administration direct. Then we do a follow-up as the student leaders. I believe you answered. Thank you. That was my time.
So we have had a very, very interesting and insightful verbal duel between the aspiring TUMSA 2024 Deputy President. From the CDFA, we have Tabitha. We have Tabitha Njeri, and then we have from the DAWA, which is the Determined Alliance for Worthy Action, we have had Vivian Wangoi. So mine is just to say thank you so much for the audience for your very good questions. You've had their responses. And right now, as we come to the commencement of this debate, I'd just like to call upon our aspirants here to give us their parting shot. And even as we do this, we know that there's a lot of political heat and tension within the country within the walls of the Technical University of Mombasa also. So just give your parting shot and give a call to your action to the whole comrades fraternity in regards to peace, and even your supporters, that they should uphold peace even as we near the electioneering period and even after that. So I think I started so much with Tabitha. Vivian, please, and then we'll go to Tabitha.
Thank you. In my parting shot, I love to quote the women president during 1998 to 1978 in US, the first wife. So she quotes and says that a leader does not lead people where they want to go, but leads people where a leader does not lead people where they ought to go, but leads people where they necessarily need to be. So in my parting shot, I'll say we are leaders. We call to lead people, to lead a certain of people, and it's wise and it's wisdom if we lead people in the right manner and in the right way that it should be done. If at all it's the peaceful things, because at the end of it all, it's 1 week and 2 days maybe, and the elections will be over, and get back to classes. We're still students, and even because we're not only aspiring for leadership maybe here, even outside country, the same thing we practice here is what you're going to practice out there. And so I'll call for you as a leader, for you who have ambitions in doing things, in greater things even outside, yes, start practicing those integral values, those values that you speak of. Just don't speak, but actualize the values in as early as now, because it will benefit the country more if at all this leader comes out and become the next CS or become even the next deputy president of the country, and it's to the advantage of the country more than to your own advantage, because you called to lead those people and to spearhead them. So I'll call to all supporters from both sides, let's maintain peace even during this election period, and yes, let's focus on what is thereafter, because the election is just for a short period of time. Yes, support peacefully, do your best to support these people, but kindly ensure the security. Mind your brother and sister, because we really need each other outside politics, outside this 1 week. We really need each other in this world. So make sure you don't slam the door while walking out. You might need it and getting back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As my parting shot, I'd say politics is just a season. It comes and go. You and me remain as a brother and sister, as a friend, as a colleague, as a classmate. So during this period, please, we should all ensure peace. We should all ensure that don't distract your other friends. Don't cause mayhem. Don't beat other people. Don't be violent to other people, because at the end of the day, you and me will remain as friends. Politics will come and go. To our supporters, we are very grateful. Continue the same spirit, and to all the alliances, may the best team win. Thank you. And thank you to the TUM Creative Media for this opportunity. It was nice. It was a good experience. Thank you.
Naam. Umeasikia hayo yote. Walikuja marais. Sasa siku ya leo ilikuwa wale manaibu wa marais. Tumeweza kuwasikia. Uamuzi ni wenyu. Kumbuka mjadala umekuwa moto sana, na wanavyosema Waswahili, kilicho na mwanzo hakikosi mwisho. Tumefika kwenye tamati ya mjadala wetu wa leo. Kumbuka msikose, tumekuwa tukiwakujia moja kwa moja kwenye mtandao wa YouTube kupitia TUM Creative Media. Kesho tutakuwa na mjadala wa wale makatibu wakuu. Nimesema wakuu kwa sababu ni wengi, lakini mmoja wao ndiye atakuja kuwa katibu mkuu. Msikose kuungana na nasi kutoka mwendo wa saa 8 hadi saa kama hii. Tafadhali tudumishe amani. Baada ya hii siasa, bado tutakuwa ndugu na dada. Bado TUM itaendelea. Urafiki utaendelea. Tusifunge yale milango ya urafiki kwa sababu ya siasa. Kumbuka, mjadala huu umeletwa kwenyu na TUM Creative Media, TUM Peace Club pamoja na Search for Common Ground. Hadi kesho, asanteni sana. tupataneni hapo kesho. Asante.
TUMAS, no peace, no progress. If you can't handle a peaceful election, how are we supposed to build the future that we want? Remember, elections isn't about breaking things. It's about building bridges. Let's keep calm, maintain peace, and move forward. We got this.
The TUMSA 2024 elections is proudly brought to you by TUM Creative Media in collaboration with Search for Common Ground and TUM Peace Club.
Bloggers wataandika mwenye alinirudia karatasi